When Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh resigned on Sunday night, he finally did what many had been asking him to do for a long time. I'm not just talking about opposition leaders who've been protesting and demanding his sacking for more than a year and finally threatened a no-confidence motion, but there have been reports circulating for months that the Bharatiya Janata Party's own legislators and other party leaders were uncomfortable with him continuing after the death of more than 250 people and displacement of 60,000 others. The government is hoping that this finally brings some order to the strife-torn land. But why did it take 21 months to just remove a chief minister who had failed to control the violence in his area? How bad did things get? And were they out of sight, out of mind for the rest of the country? Let's just remind you of how things went down. Officially, it started in March of 23, when the Manipur High Court passed orders about the demand by the dominant Hindu group Meiteis to get scheduled tribe status. Remember, Meiteis are the group that Chief Minister Biren Singh belonged to, and the court asking his government to consider the Meiteis' request upset the others, that is the Kuki-Zo groups. They believed the Chief Minister would side with his community, and there is history to that. My colleague Pravesh Lama, who has travelled to Manipur multiple times since the unrest began, reports that the reason why the distrust erupted between other tribes and Biren Singh is that when he came to power for the second time in 2022, he started what he called a crackdown on drugs and infiltration. The Kuki-Zo groups felt this was just an excuse to target them because the border, which falls in the hilly areas, was where they stayed. So drug crackdown was one way to harass other tribes in the hills, and then the High Court order was just another way that the Meiteis would get the upper hand. As scheduled tribes, they would buy land, settle in the hills, and as the Kuki-Zos feared, take away their land. Thus started the 21-month-long protest that left a trail of death and destruction. As violence started during the protest against this High Court order, security forces evacuated people and basically took Kukis to their strongholds in the hills, that is Churachandpur, More areas, and limited the Meiteis to Imphal. The first time that Manipur really impacted all of us in the rest of the country, was seeing some very disturbing images of two women being paraded naked by a mob. This happened in May 2023. But because there was internet shutdown for months, it stayed suppressed, and it was only in July that these horrendous images of the women who belonged to the Kuki tribe being groped by this Meitei mob emerged. One of them was gang raped. Her father was murdered, and the police hadn't even registered an FIR till the outrage started. Months later, the Central Bureau of Investigation charge sheet to prosecute this case didn't progress much because, again, the state government didn't give sanction to those charged with promoting enmity. There were other stories of such sexual assault emerging, and the survivors and their families repeatedly said that they didn't trust Chief Minister Biren Singh to take any action against his own community. Meanwhile, these images stirred everyone to take action. Even Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud said, in a constitutional democracy, it is unacceptable.
I saw with my own eyes what has happened and what has been done to the people of Manipur. In 19 years of my political experience, I have never experienced or saw what I saw over there. It was as if one person has been torn into two pieces, and the violence, the rape, the killing, it just continues.
मणिपुर की जो घटना सामने आई है, किसी भी सभ्य समाज के लिए ये शर्मसार करने वाली घटना है। पाप करने वाले, गुनाह करने वाले कितने हैं, कौन है, वो अपनी जगह पे है, लेकिन बेइज्जती पूरे देश की हो रही है। 140 करोड़ देशवासियों को शर्मसार होना पड़ रहा है।
Things soon became very challenging for the chief minister. In an assembly of 60, the BJP had 37 MLAs, but it had support from allies like Conrad Sangma's NPP and JDU. Now, the first ones to withdraw support way back in 2023 August were the Kuki People's Alliance. Now, these were just two, but the biggest problem was that they were joined by 7 BJP MLAs and 1 independent. Basically, all Kuki and Zo MLAs were openly rebelling against Chief Minister Biren Singh. In December of 2023, the violence was still continuing and bodies of 64 men were handed to their families. The centre kept rushing in top officers, but no one looked like they could bring things under control. So apart from the first 10, other BJP MLAs like Hemchand Singh, Speaker Satyapat Singh also joined these rebels to ask for Singh's removal. It almost became a mystery as to why the BJP bosses here in Delhi let him stay for so long. What we heard was that they really didn't know who to replace Biren Singh with, and there was concern that whoever they chose, they wouldn't be able to get the other community members on board. So if they chose a Kuki this time, the Meiteis would react badly. So all of 2024 just went in this suspension. But the common people living there kept suffering, many not being able to get back home. In November last year, armed men attacked a CRPF post in Manipur and 10 people were killed. Just 4 days before that, a woman was raped and set on fire by a Meitei group. It was just too much for alliance partner National People's Party, and they left the NDA with 7 of their MLAs. The Congress only had 5 MLAs to begin with, but sensing the mood, they called for a no-confidence motion in the upcoming assembly session. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court asked for forensic analysis of a recording which allegedly caught Biren Singh instigating violence in the state. All of these factors came together to make it untenable for Biren Singh to carry on, and on Sunday, he was finally given marching orders by his party. The BJP is now looking for a new chief minister, and if they don't find a suitable, acceptable person in the next few days, they might even go for president's rule. However, that's really not the point of concern here. For thousands in the state, normal life has been suspended. We all have a short outage on Facebook or Instagram and it's headline news across the globe. But for the people of Manipur, 2 to 3 month long internet blockade is the least of their concerns. Women have been violated, homes have been lost, and people have just been killed. Not just that, remember that Manipur is strategically located at the country's border, and its state armories with all the arms were looted, and no one knows where most of those weapons went and what they are being used for. So, for a long time, there's been anarchy in the state. They really hope that a unifying leadership is able to restore some degree of normalcy to their lives soon.